Welcome back, Star Babes. One question. How much of your soul are you willing to trade for an algorithm? It's a brutal question, but it's one that every single creator, entrepreneur, and heavy internet user has to face. Because behind every follower count, every notification, and every viral headline, there is a human being under a microscope, often until the pressure finally cracks the glass. Over the last 10 days, the entire internet has been forced to look at that exact nightmare. Veteran media personality Perez Hilton, Mario Lavandera, was hospitalized in Miami following a deeply distressing real-time crisis broadcast live on TikTok from his home. Now, I want to be clear right out of the gate. We aren't here to sensationalize, gossip, or replay the drama. What we are going to do is talk about the heavy reality behind the screens, the shocking details of how his family and children were impacted, and why mental health in the public eye demands our collective wake-up call. Whether you're a longtime media figure, an independent creator, or an entrepreneur building a brand from your living room, there is a pervasive illusion that social media is just a highlight reel. We see the follower counts, the content schedules, the launches, and the daily grind. But what we often don't see is the psychological toll of living life under a microscope. Perez Hilton has been a figure of internet culture for over 2 decades, long before short-form video algorithms, modern influencer culture, or monetization funnels even existed. He grew up right alongside the evolution of modern media, meaning he spent the better part of 20 years absorbing public scrutiny, backlash, and the relentless, exhausting pressure to stay relevant in a shifting digital landscape. Think about the psychological footprint of that. When your entire career is built on commentary, critique, and maintaining a constant digital presence, the boundaries between who you are as a person and what you project to the world starts to dissolve. And it raises a vital question for all of us. What happens when the digital persona completely consumes the human being? How do you step away from the stage when the stage is your entire life? As the story unfolded in Miami-Dade County, the reality behind the live stream proved even more heartbreaking. Reports and family statements confirmed that his children, sister, and niece were inside the home just minutes before the crisis escalated. They were forced to flee the residence to protect the children from witnessing trauma. Imagine the terror of that moment, not just for Perez, who was experiencing a severe psychological breakdown, but for his family, who had to make an emergency exit to keep the younger members safe. In the aftermath, court filings showed his mother taking swift action to secure temporary custody of his children, prioritizing their safety, stability, and a sense of normalcy while he underwent medical care. This brings us to an uncomfortable truth about mental health crises. They don't happen in a vacuum. They ripple outward, touching the most vulnerable people in our lives, our children, our parents, our siblings. It highlights why taking care of our mental health isn't just an act of self-preservation. It's an act of protection for the people we love. And that brings us to another layer of this tragedy, the ecosystem of social media platforms themselves. In the wake of the incident, heavy criticism was directed at TikTok regarding how long the distress broadcasts remain accessible, while the platform stated that automated systems flagged the content quickly. A moderator error caused a delay before the stream was fully removed. This exposes a massive vulnerability in our modern digital infrastructure. Platforms are built for engagement, speed, and real-time distribution, but they are often painfully slow when it comes to human intervention and crisis management. Equally disturbing is the behavior of the internet audience. Within minutes, screen recordings of the footage was ripped and reshared across platforms like X and Instagram. People rushed to capture, clip, and comment on a man's absolute lowest moment, most agonizing moment, for the sake of views and algorithm points. We have to ask ourselves, what kind of culture are we participating in when we treat a real-time human crisis as spectator sport or viral content? We are actively contributing to a toxic digital ecosystem. As creators, entrepreneurs, and viewers, we have to draw a hard line. Don't share the clips. Don't feed the algorithm of trauma. Choose empathy over engagement. Reports later confirmed that Perez was hospitalized under Florida's Baker Act, an emergency measure allowing for involuntary psychological evaluation when an individual poses an acute danger to themselves. Subsequent family updates brought a measure of relief, confirming that he was stabilized, able to communicate with immediate family, but facing a long road to recovery that included surgical intervention for his injuries. It serves as a stark reminder of how fragile human psychology really is. It doesn't matter how successful you look on paper, how many followers you have, or how long you've dominated an industry. Burnout, isolation, and mental health crises do not discriminate. And it forces us to look at the lack of structural safety nets for independent workers and digital creators. Traditional corporate jobs often come with HR departments, mental health days, and medical leave policies. But if you're a solo entrepreneur, a content creator, or a founder running a business from your desk, you're often your own boss, your own employee, and your own safety net. When you burn out, everything stops. If there is any constructive takeaway from heavy moments like this, it's a profound reminder to check in, not just on the people we follow, but on ourselves and the people right in our immediate circle. If you're feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders today, if the pressure to keep going or stay relevant is whispering dangerous things to you behind closed doors, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your worth is not tied to your metrics, your productivity, your public presence, or your algorithm. Take a step back when you need to. Step away from the screen. Curate your digital environment so it serves your peace rather than draining your spirit. Remember that logging off is not a failure, it's an act of survival. If you or someone you know is going through a difficult time, feeling overwhelmed, or experiencing a mental health crisis, please remember that support is available. In the United States and Canada, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Reach out. You do not have to carry it all alone, guys. There's help. I want you also to comment below of how you're feeling today. How's life? I read every comment and I will comment back. So before you go, let's foster a safer, more compassionate space together in the comments below. Drop your thoughts on how we, as a digital community, can better protect creator well-being, hold platforms accountable, and shift away from toxic online culture. If this episode resonated with you, hit that subscribe button, share it with a fellow creator who might need to hear it today, and let's keep looking out for one another. Thank you for listening in today, for holding space for a difficult conversation, and for choosing humanity over the algorithm. Take care of yourselves. I love you. Be kind to one another, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Namaste.